All right, welcome back, guys. It's Monday, and we got the market report for you, ladies and gentlemen. This is the video where we talk about some of the best, brightest, most relevant post-1900 modern era of graded coins to have hit the market. This week, we're going to take a look at things on greatcollections.com like we always do, and examine some of the big coins that sold this week. We are off to a good start in 2024, but this is the video, ladies and gentlemen, where we just continue to see banger after banger after banger sell on the market. Just in the 1 cent denomination, a Lincoln cents, there's even an Indian head in there. Just that small little list to kick off this video, there is $100,000 of realized prices across like 7 coins. It's that insane. And that's nothing. You got to check out the rest of the coins all the way up to $50. It will blow your mind. So this is, we are kind of like officially in the busy season of this time of year. We had the Florida Fun Show to kick off the year. We've got the, the Long Beach Expo coming up here real soon, beginning of February. I mean, we are in some sort of just monumental cycle of sorts, and I don't know. It's like, where do people get all this money is the question. Where do they get the money for these kind of coins? And like the same time every year, we have to put into perspective that it is tax time. It's tax season. Any big dealer or investor or what have you, I'm sure they got their taxes high and tight to the point where they're getting money back every year. So they're taking that and they're going and reinvesting that into some much bigger coins. And boy, we have a huge slate of them. One of the big things here this week that's going to kind of stick out like a sore thumb is the varieties, the die varieties in Lincoln cents have been really huge here this week, and we have a number of them to talk about. So you might want to get your magnifying glass ready and be ready to look for some of these coins, because the prices, they are encroaching on record level type of money, and that is certainly going to raise some eyebrows here in the near future. I mean, do we see these things going straight up still? It's you would think they've peaked last year, but some of the prices that we've seen here this year have been nothing short of spectacular. So we'll take a look at that again. This is all from greatcollections.com. If you're looking to buy that next big trophy piece for your collection, or some of the lower end stuff, greatcollections.com, one of my favorite sites to purchase from. But they also can consign your collections. If you have some pretty big coins, you're ready to move, and you want to realize the full market potential because of how big Great Collections is today in the auction world, look no further. They are some of the best staff members to help you in any way possible. All right. So like we did on the PCMR over the weekend, let's go ahead and talk about some of the big whatnot events on Blue Ridge Silverhound's channel. We have the road to 10K. We are about 1,600 away from 10,000 followers on the platform, which is amazing. Thank you to a lot of you that have come by, if not to buy, just to hang out and talk shop. I do appreciate that. So we are going to have an auction tomorrow, January 30. We're going to have some nice coin selections. We're going to run a buck and go. Full send, everything. You can find a lot of affordable collectible coins on tomorrow's show. And that's 5 p.m. Pacific, 8 p.m. Eastern. If you're not signed up at all and you want to check things out, please do sign up. Use my referral link down below in the description box. I'll even have it pinned in the comment section of this video as well. But stay tuned. On Friday, we have another big show. We're going to be giving away more Cherry Pickers Guides, the rare book that nobody can obtain. We got a couple more. We're doing a part 2 due to popular demand. In addition, we're going to have a really nice stocked up US type coin auction bonanza That's going to be this Friday, February 2nd, 5 p.m. Pacific, 8 p.m. Eastern. I hope to see you guys there. All right, let's go ahead and take a look at these coin selections. Again, I am incredibly excited to start things off here with the 1984 Lincoln Memorial Cent. Our plating blister pimply friend right here is actually quite the stunner. All right, it's the doubled ear or the DDO or doubled die obverse. You can name them all three and they'd be completely fine. But also add in FS 101. That's the official Cherry Picker's Guide attribution number for the doubled ear Lincoln for 1984. And you're going to look for this on specifically the Philadelphia minted pieces. This is one of the big ones. This is yet again another stunner PCGS, actually assigned a grade of Mid-State 68 red. Now, before we get too kind of like caught up in the fact that this thing has some pretty nice amounts of plating blisters, no, it really does not affect the grade at all. Okay, that's just part of how these things are made early on. A lot of the planchets and how they were prepared, there were a lot of impurities in there, so the plating doesn't 100% adhere to the zinc core on a lot of these more modern coins. So this is something that is more regular out there for coins of this type, completely normal. So just want to let you know. How about $3,044.25 on this one? Again, another just incredibly fetching coin with a huge price tag. Could this thing go up any higher is anybody's guess, but it has to be a 68 for it to achieve some of the biggest market records that we have seen for this coin. The next one that we have here is yet another gauntlet in today's auction world, the 1972 Lincoln Memorial Cent. Yes, this is indeed the FS 101 doubled die obverse. Yet again, another huge Lincoln Cent variety. This coin also has multiple applications in today's market, whether that's for a registry set, it could be a great high-end collector coin, it could also be an investor piece. There is a bunch of different collections that this could fit into, and none of them is wrong, to be honest. Every single one's right. You just look at the doubling, and you'll know exactly what you have. The motto and the date and liberty and everything else on here, it's pretty crazy. PCGS gave this one a 67 plus full red grade. It's even CAC green bean, which is huge. That's going to add a lot of value to this coin on the market. And with everything said, this one sold for $8,670.38. One of my favorite coins. I wish I didn't get rid of mine. And I would be in the market if these things weren't going up so high each and every single week. So, I hope to see a little bit of reprieve here. I don't know, so that way I could dip my toe back into the 1972 promised land, but we'll see. It's just one of the craziest, most awesomest looking coins that you'll ever come across. And of course, it wouldn't be a big variety show without the 1969S FS 101 doubled die obverse. This thing is well known across many publications, many channels. It's a staple. It's a staple if you're a completionist in the Lincoln Cent series and you're looking for not only the regular coins but also the die varieties. Obviously, this one's going to pass through in your travels, in your pursuit for a full set. So at this point, it's like kind of a grab, right? And it's, if you need one, you got to get one, and you got to get one that looks good. This one right here, ladies and gentlemen, is a Mid-State 61 in brown. Okay, it's got nice oxidation, very little in the way of any sort of circulation type of stuff. This one is also got even a CAC green bean. We've seen quite a few AU 55s, 58s, and a few 61s out there. All right, 61s obviously are the ones you want to get. And as a result, this one ended up stealing the show at $23,062.50. So, yeah, spectacular coin with a lot of, with just a lot of kind of like provenance to it. Everybody knows this coin the same way that everybody knows the 55 DDO. All right, so now we're on to like regular registry set coins. There's always a few of these. So we got the 1951S Lincoln wheat set. This one, a nice high grade. CAC even gave its blessing on this one as well. So PCGS awarded this one to 67 plus full red, and that's kind of the grade you need for this, for it to be anywhere nearly close to being relevant for registry set participants. This one right here is also part of the Whispering Pines collection. I guess a collection of high-grade registry set style Lincolns that probably got broken up, that not knowing a whole lot more other than that. That this one's attached to a provenance. All right, so it's kind of a big deal here. So this one right here is sold for $2,418.75. Again, a really pretty looking coin. Generally, San Francisco minted Lincolns from the 50s are very well struck and very, very lustrous. So finding one generally isn't going to be a whole lot of trouble in grades around 65 or 66. It's when you come across the extraordinary where things are really difficult. Here's a 1945P, yet again another high priced gem. This one here is a 67 plus full red. Again, another staple in a registry set for Lincoln sets. And this particular one ended up selling for $2,092.50. So again, another necessity out there. The highest grade, believe it or not, for this one is 68. So 68s come very seldomly in the marketplace. This one might be a hole filler. But as you can tell, there's a little bit of a safety net here. If you can't hit a 68 and you get that plus designation instead, it's not the end of the world. But just understand that, you know, these are very specific to high-end Lincoln Cent registries. And of course, another one right here, another big registry coin. This is a 1926 Philly. Yeah, we're getting a little bit older here, and this one just so happened to split the log of incredibleness. 68 red, are you kidding me? I mean, you know, the coin is very well struck too, which is something that from the 1920s, you know, you can make the argument that the quality was crap during this time. There are even a few Philadelphia dates that suffered tremendously as a result of the kind of like the onset of the Great Depression. So 68 red, where did this one land? How about $59,062.50? Kind of crazy considering that, you know, it's not a D or S mint, you know, which is just, you know, that's something that obviously if you had a 68 red in any Denver or San Francisco coin, it's all over. Those are probably $75,000 to $100,000 coins, but the Philadelphia certainly getting some love here. 14D, hey, Mr. Key Date over here in a nice 65 red brown, a very handsome coin. Me personally, I would not be offended whatsoever if I owned this in my collection. You have a nice kind of like woody wood-grained obverse. You have a really nice solid chocolatey brown on the reverse. But with all things, you know, said, this is a coin that'll fit in just about any collection known to man. And, you know, again, another staple in a lot of Lincoln Cent collections. So this one right here, $6,811.88 is worth all that and a bag of chips. And the final 1 cent denom, and thus far, things have been really impressive on this list of the Monday Market Report. How about 1909S, ladies and gentlemen? The final year of the Indian Head Cent series also happens to be the bridge into the Lincoln Cents. And we all know that any coin 1909 with an S mint and a Lincoln Cent or Indian Head Cent is kind of a big deal. This one right here is a 65 plus red brown, CAC certified. In addition, Rick Snow gave it an eagle eye seal as well. He's one of the main attributors and graders of Indian Head Cents. So if you get that on there, that's, again, that is a huge deal. This particular coin right here sold for $4,500, you know. A huge bucket list coin for a lot of people that are into this series. All right, so now we're on the nickels. And I'm not saying that, we're kind of like taking a step back, because when things like this coin end up on the list, if you don't know your proofs and what kind of like defining line is about coins that are supposed to be deep cameo and will subsequently grade high, or ones like this where they're kind of like 50-50. If you know that, then you know that this is a pretty big one here. 73S, okay, no guarantee that you have a cameo, let alone a deep cameo on any of these. 73, again, is kind of like that date that crosses into much better quality. Proof 70, perfect score, deep cameo. There's only a few of these known as of right now, which is a testament to its scarcity. This one sold for $9,843.73, which is mind-boggling considering that this comes from a $10 proof set. Yeah, let that sink in a little bit. If you're a good cherry picker, you know what you're looking for, this one might be coming across your travels one day. We do have a couple Buffaloes. Believe it or not, that was the only Jefferson nickel. But how about a 37D with some really nice pastel-like toning all throughout? This is certainly a favorite of mine this week. It's a Mid-State 68 star. The star through NGC denotes the eye appeal. So with that, yeah, popular coin here, $7,200. And again, when we look at this date, again, it's a very common date. We come across these. You could find a raw BU example at coin shops and shows routinely for around $50 or less. But boy, when you come across one that looks like it's been sitting in an album for a few decades, this one is going to make you smile. The next one that we have here, now we're getting to much more tougher dates. We got 29S. Of course, this one is quite the looker. It's got a little bit of dye clashing on the obverse as well, which is always nice. NGC, Mid-State 67 this time around, and this one sold for $4,674.38. 1920 Philly. Yeah, another great looking one. Very, very, very nice strike on this one. Again, a little bit of dye clash under the Indian's chin right there, which is a common place. That's the clash of E pluribus unum, by the way, on that obverse die. Very common too. Again, a NGC 67 grade on this one. Just truly magnificent. $4,005. It's not a top grade, of course. There are others that are better, but this is an incredibly erstwhile collectible for a Buffalo nickel enthusiast. And 1919D, this is a great one too. Nice early date, Denver branch mint coin. A little slight rotated die there on that is pretty neat as well. 65 plus grade, which is exceptional for this market for these type of coins. All right. And this one right here ended up selling for $7,929. Another big time coin with such a tremendous amount of following. All right, here's again another variety. If you're a hunter of proof sets like I am, this one is always going to be one of the top coins on your list. The missing mint mark proof coins that generally supposed to have an S mint mark have been haunting my dreams lately. It's one of those things like, I probably do with as many proof sets as I look through. I figure that one day I'm going to come across at least one. So the 68 no S Roosevelt that you see here, this is one of the ones that we all strive to look for. Again, it's from a proof set that you could buy at a shop for $10 to $12. The only thing driving the value of those proof sets is that 40% Kennedy. So this one right here is a proof 67, as you can see, no S right on the label. And this one ended up selling for $14,125.50. It's always going to be a huge price tag, as there are only a small handful of these known, and they're all quite desirable. There are buyers waiting in the wings to own something like this, so we could scratch one buyer off the board. but that's all right. There's going to be 2 more buyers that are going to come in looking for this one here in the near future. We also have this beautiful, nice original 1930S Mercury dime, and this one is an NGC Mid-State 66 full bands. Coin needs no introduction. These will be collectible till the end of time, and this one sold for $1,605.38. And just a couple quarters, but boy, I saved 2 really nice ones for you. 52 Philly. What in the world? This one looks like it probably came from an original mint set. I would venture to guess, based off of some of the colors on here. The colors really translate into what you would normally find in some of these old mint sets, where these things were stored in little cardboard, little cutouts, and then they add the glue paper that were stuck to both sides of those. So there was a lot of sulfur, a lot of just, the type of non-archival crap that the mint was responsible in using back in the 50s. You gotta love it. This is yet again another example of some type of gem you could find out of there. It's a 67 plus, CAC certified as well. And this one brought home $1,195.88. Yeah, this one right here, it's top notch in my book. 23S. Yeah, note the condition. Okay, first of all, it's a key. It's one of the key dates of the Standing Liberty Quarter Series. So it's not like you have to go out of your way to specifically find a mid-state example of this quarter, because they're rare across the board. From good, VG, all the way up to mid-state, the 23S is highly desired. So this is just a really nice middle-of-the-road XF40 grade, CAC certified, and this one ended up selling for $1,743.75. Try and find one as honest and original as this one, and it will make you a happy collector. And then finally, we also have this 1917, this time a Type 2, okay? On more than one occasion, we normally see these Type 1s, right? The non-modified, without the 3 stars on the reverse. You don't have Lady Liberty with a chainmail and various things. So a Type 2, certainly refreshing. This one right here, PCGS gave a 65 full head grade on it. All right, so it's got a really nice heavy strike. It says Type 2 on the label. This one sold for $1,631.25. And we do have a number of half dollars. We got a couple Kennedys. We got, what else? A couple of Franklins. It's good. I mean, it's a good week all across the board. How about a 69D? Our very favorite 40% half dollar here is adorned in a 67 grade. It really doesn't seem all that impressive till you look at the population reports. This one also has a little bit of peripheral kind of like darker toning, a little bit of gold and yellow on the reverse all throughout, and this one sold for $1,453.50. Again, who would have thought that something like this would have that kind of value? 66, another 40% right here. It says, just staring at us. Again, if this is like any other 40% that you and I have looked at, you would think that this is just some Joe Schmo Kennedy half dollar, but it's a 67, another good tough grade. Anything above 65 is always going to be a little bit of a challenge. How about $1,518.75 for the sale on this one? I think I'm going to start going through my 40 percenters. I have a few albums too. The original skin probably played a little bit of a role in how these ended up performing on great collections. And the Franklins are just dimes. They're both, they're not literal dimes, but dimes like, quarterback throwing a dime at their wide receiver in triple coverage. And your receiver actually got it because you threw it so perfectly. 62D, right? It's not a date that normally turns heads, but it's rare, very scarce in full bell lines. I'm not sure if some of you are actually aware of how lousy some of the strikes are in the early 60s of business strike Franklins. This one right here is one of the toughest. This one is a 66 plus full bell lines, the FBL. The toning, my goodness, another huge attribute, a huge plus to this one. $9,787.50 is impressive on this. And then finally, we also have a proof version of a Franklin half dollar that you could score out of a $30 proof set. Do I need to repeat myself? This is a coin that came out of a $30 proof set. It just so happens that this one is a gauntlet of a grade 69 deep cameo. And how cool is that? This one's from the Blue Ocean collection, another provenance that I don't know I've ever heard of, but it kind of fits the narrative here of this one. How about $11,874.38? I believe this is a top pop grade. There are no currently 70s for a 1960 proof Franklin half dollar. All right, well, that's going to go ahead and wrap things up. I got overly excited with some of the coins here this week. And I usually do too, but this week it just seemed like it's more extraordinary than normal. The video is for entertainment purposes only, not financial advice whatsoever. Please collect and grade responsibly. Of course, thank you guys for watching. Always a huge pleasure. Don't forget to like, share, and subscribe. Hit that bell for instant notifications. Come check me out on Whatnot if you're going to be around on either Tuesday or Friday around 5 p.m. Pacific, 8 Eastern. Hope to see you there. Have a great week. Enjoy your collecting, and I'll see you on the next coin video.